Hi you guys, another video on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. I'm just going to show you how I've got it set up and running Next Launcher on it. I've got a few videos that I've uploaded to YouTube on the Next Launcher. I've just got it in a glove case at the moment. It's just a cheap one off eBay. So just go ahead and I'll show you how the phone's set up. You can see it's the black phone, the black face, and I'll get quickly into this. We'll unlock it. And you can see from the home screen, I'll just check turn the colour, the brightness down a touch on it. You can see from the home screen that it's modded on a different launcher to the standard TouchWiz launcher. You can see I've got a basic clock widget. I'll move it around the screen so you can see it moving around it. There's a complete widget with a search bar on the top. And this comes from the One Weather pack. And you can add this widget from the widget drawer and customize it how you want to do. Basically I've got it customized so all the font is white, so you set the font to white. I've got the clock set to custom, and basically just got it set to a white theme. Now you can see on the bottom of the screen I've also got shortcuts on the bottom of the screen that are set to white theme again. We'll go across different screens. You can see the transition. I'll move it slowly. It's a concertina type transition, so we'll move across different screens. And you can see I've got the whole phone set up fairly basic. Everything's working. All the S Pen features are working normally. Any of the Samsung widgets that you want to use are also working. The key for S Find is working fine. Quickly show you the S Pen really quick before we get into the launcher. So we'll hold the S Pen over it, we'll open the window, and we'll do a quick pen window. Like I said previously, all the features are working fine, there's not a problem with any of the features. So you see pen window, all the other features are working, so it's ideal in this launcher if you just want a different launcher and get away from the cartoonish effect of TouchWiz. I'll go quickly into the app drawer, and then we'll go through quickly some of the settings I've got on this. Go to the app drawer, you can see the transition in the app drawer is a glass wall transition. You can see the wall turning. If you're going to customize different screens on there with the Next Launcher, you press this button on the right hand side. That gives you screens across the top, and you just drag your icons onto the screen wherever you want to drop them, and that's the way you get your icons. You can do it in several other ways, but this is the easiest way to do it. And we'll quickly get into settings. I'll just give you a quick overview of the phone quickly before we go into settings. Good thing about this, before we go any further, if you're in your app drawer, there's been a lot said about the home button on the Note 3. People have got a wonky home button, it's slightly out of line, it's slightly clicky. Don't have a problem with this button on my particular phone, but as an added advantage, when you're in the app drawer on the Next Launch, you've got an home symbol here, so you can press on the home symbol and you get straight back to the home. So save some time pressing that home button. You're not using it 100% of the time, maybe 50% of the time. Easy way to get into all the menus. If you press on the menu button as you would normally, you can get into standard system settings, same way as you would normally, or you can go back to, we'll go back again, get out of that. You can press the menu again. You can get into preferences for the Next Launcher as well from this key as well. You can also pull down as you would normally from the top of the screen and go into your system settings from there as well. So quickly we'll get into settings. I'll show you some of the features I've got set up on it. So we'll go settings, and when you're in settings, click on preferences, and you can get all the preferences for the Next Launcher in this particular area. So you can use a 3D screen mode, which I don't use. It's a bit too outlandish for me, so I'm keeping it pretty standard. So first of all, we'll go into screen settings, and we'll go quickly through what I've got set up. Screen orientation, following system settings, so that you can orientate the phone both ways. I'll show you that in a minute. Wallpaper, you can pick a wallpaper like I have done, a custom wallpaper. I've got wallpaper cut model set to vertical screen mode. Screen indicator, I've got that to hidden. It's a blue screen indicator, goes across the top of the screen, so it's hidden on this. Next key, now the next key, quickly go back to the home screen, I'll show you what it does. The next key is the button on the side of the screen, and you can transition between screens quite quickly using that. If you don't want to be swiping across the screen all the time with your finger, you can use this on the edge of the screen to transition really fast through screens. We'll go back into preferences. We'll go back into screen settings. So if you take the next key setting off, that disappears altogether. Status bar, you can hide the status bar by checking this, so the status bar disappears. You can hide the icon labels, you can have a dynamic effect on wallpaper. Screen scroll continuously, so it goes in a continuous carousel. Screen transition, this is from screen to screen. If you click on this, A smooth transition is 25, quick is 75, default is 50, and I've got it set to a custom one. So if you click on custom, I've got it set to about 40, which is somewhere between the slowest and the middle, and it works quite well for me, so we'll get out of that. Other things I've got set up on here now, icon reference line, home screen grid reference line, I've got them to auto adjust, and I've got them ticked also, and icon alignment I've got ticked, and that's about it. At the bottom, auto close folder. Auto close folder after app launch. So if you launch an app off any of your screens or at the app drawer or in a folder, so I'll tick that, so I haven't got it ticked at the moment, but I'll show you what I mean. I've got that ticked as well. So the auto alignment on screens will go quickly back to the screen. If I grab an icon and start to move, you can see the auto alignment around the screen. It'll tell you when these lines line up green, it'll tell you that it's lined up with the rest of the grid. If I open an application, so I'll go into a Google folder and show the transitions in folders. There's different transitions you can have within the folders. But if I open Google Play Music, and then if I back out of it, you can see that folder's closed down. If you don't tick that box, that folder will remain open on the screen. Likewise, in your app drawers, there's a similar setting to close an app. So if in the app drawer, when you open an application, calculator for instance, a writing calculator, when you back out of it, that application is closed down again. We'll go quickly into settings, go through a few other things that I've got set up. So we can move down with screen settings. We've basically gone through. So we'll go dock settings. Dock rows 2, you can have as many rows on the dock as you want, so the scroll through different screen docks. Loop mode, I've got the dock to loop, and I've got hide dock background. If I click on this button again, you can hide it or take it off, and if I go to the home screen, I'll go back to it to show you quickly with it set on. So we go dock, and we'll take that off, and I'll go to the home screen, and we'll move it around. You can see now there's a dock setting, and you can see it's almost like a MacBook dock setting, and it's you can see on all the screens. It just makes it a bit more faffy. So basically I have that set to turned off. So go back to preferences, go back to dock, and we'll turn that off, hide the dock, and we'll go back again. Further down, app drawer settings, you can do all sorts of different things. I've got the app drawer background set to transparent, grid auto adjust. I've got a blur on the wallpaper so that the wallpaper blurs out in the background, scroll orientation, and etc, etc. Auto close apps after you've opened them in the app drawer, and scroll continuously in the app drawer as well. So they're pretty self-explanatory. Go quickly back into this. Now the effects for different screens. If you go into the effects setting, you can see the home screen transition and the app drawer transition. So home screen settings, you've got multiple settings, and I've got it pretty much set to a folding setting. So there's different ones you can try here, but the folding one is the concertina one we've seen. And if we go into the app drawer, I've got it set to crystal, which is the one I showed you before, which is the pane of glass. Open folders in the dock, in folders row by row, and you can have a different transition in them. Quickly go to the dock at the bottom. You can have multiple docks, and you can see the rolling effect on that. What I wanted to show you quickly as well in this, if we go back to preferences and we go to gestures, within this application a lot of you will be wanting to use the My Magazine. You could use that directly from the app drawer as a function of pressing the app button, or you can have it set up similarly to how I've got it set up here. So if we look down the different settings for gestures, glide up action I've got disabled. Glide down, it's the shortcut from the top of the screen. Double finger slide up is My Magazine. All the rest I've got disabled, but you can have a play around with these. So if we go back, I'll quickly show you that on the home screen how it works. So normally you would pull down the screen from the top, but anywhere on the screen, if you swipe down or swipe up, you can open your drop down menu from the top or bottom. Likewise with My Magazine, two finger swipe up. It might take a second to load into memory. Let's get it across. There we go. What you find with My Magazine, if you kill it off in the settings so that it's not actually retained in memory, it does take a while to load back in, but it should work instantaneously now. So two fingers up, two fingers in any direction will open that. I've got quite a slow connection at the moment, so it's not populating this. Let's have a look. Let's go back to news feeds. There we go, news feeds. So we'll pull down, and you can see it scrolls normally. Go back to the home button, two fingers up, and it opens. And you can back out of it or go to the home button. So that's basically how I've got it set up and how it's running. I'm using this fast screen launch at the side. They're the transitions I'm running. You can see the sort of way it's set up. Fairly basic overlay on the screens. Everything's working. Folders are working. S Pen features are working. everything that you have normally on the phone's working fine. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my videos, and I'll get more videos out in the near future. And leave me some feedback below, telling me what you think of this theme and the way it's set up. Any questions you've got, please ask, and I'll get more videos out. Thanks for watching this video.